Hi, I'm Alaa Dabash. Today I'm going to talk about stress and intonation. So at first, why stress and intonation are important in English language? And the answer because it helps to strengthen a specific meaning, attitude, or emotion in utterance. So now, what is pronunciation? Pronunciation is the act of speaking clearly and correctly and being understood by those around the speaker. The ultimate goal of language teaching is to encourage learners to acquire communicative competence. So the pronunciation structure should be approached holistically, not phonetically. It means that the teacher has to teach pronunciation as an integral part of oral communication. Stress plays an important role in learning the English language. Certainly, if the learner isn't able to use a good stress, they won't be understood and the communication will be broken. So English is called a stress-timed language. So now, what is content words? Content words contrast with function words, which function primarily to express the grammatical relationships between other words in a sentence. And function words are words that have little lexical meaning or have ambiguous meaning, but instead serve to express a grammatical relationship with other words within a sentence or specify the attitude or mood of the speaker. Content words the most important information such as verbs, adjectives, noun, and adverbs, which are called content words. So the example of content words are nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Function words they are important for the grammar to be correct, but are not usually important to the main message. These words are not stressed to help us to speak fluent with a natural rhythm. So the example of function words, articles, conjunctions, and prepositions. Intonation is variation of a spoken pitch that isn't used to distinguish words. Instead, it is used for a range of functions such as indicating the attitude and emotion of the speaker, signaling the difference between statement and questions, and between different types of questions, focusing attention on important elements of the spoken message and also helping to regulate conversational interaction. Although intonation is primarily a matter of pitch variation, it is important to be aware that functions attributed in intonation, such as expression of attitudes and emotions, or highlighting aspects of grammatical structure, almost always involve concomitant variation in other prosodic features. So now, when do we use falling intonation and raising intonation? We use raising intonation in general questions, in introductory phrases, in the first part of alternative questions, in the second part of taggy questions, in direct address, and in emulating items in a list. And falling intonation standard emphatic falling intonation is the most common type of intonation in English. It is used in a sentence, in statement special questions, and exclamatory sentences in the first part of disjunctive questions and in the last part of alternative question. Falling intonation indicates completeness in statements, instruction, most WH questions, question tag, and the end of list. Raised intonation indicate incompleteness in yes or no questions, and a question tag when you are unsure of the answer, and a question tag where both parts are affirmative. And this is my presentation. Thank you for listening.